Hi, my name is Barbara Hawkins Dixon,
And I'm Darlene Mayman.
and we are the authors of Substance of Building a Healthy Relationship. The topic today is, are you comfortable loaning money to family and friends? Well, yes, I have no problem loaning money to people that need it if I'm in a position to do so. But I do only loan to peoples that I know that are responsible. And because if you're not close enough to that person uh, to have observed them and observed their actions and the way they handle business, I mean, it's like you have to know that they are able, capable, and you wouldn't have to hunt them down to, get your money back. We all fall short sometimes. You know, we all have different obligations and things that we have to do. So if I put my obligation over to the side to try to help you because I feel like your situation is worse than mine at this point, that you in more need of it than me, yes, I would sacrifice and loan it to you. But you must be the responsible person, whereas I know I'm going to get it back without having to chase you down for it. Because some peoples will accept your money with a smile, but when it comes time to pay it back, they pay it back with a frown. Like they expect you to say, "Oh, you don't need it. Uh, um, she could let me keep that."
Mhm, mhm,
Forgetting that you have obligations that have to be met just like everyone else.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
so, just be responsible. And I don't like peoples who uh continuously, continuously coming back, because at that point, I feel now you abusing it. You feel like I'm free-hearted, this and that, and I'm willing to help, but I'm not going to allow no one to abuse the fact that they know that they could turn to me for help.
mhm, mhm.
And
That's
then it have been where you loan somebody money, it come time to pay it back, and they handing it to you real slow. Like you gonna say, "Oh, that's all right. Just keep it. Just keep it."
yeah.
Yeah, but
Or
once,
right. Or you will
once
hear something like, "Here, I'm gonna give it to you, but I really didn't have it, but I can get. I really
right,
didn't have to get back right now, but here you go. Yeah.
yeah. But when you enter into a verbal agreement, when you need the money and I loan it to you, I'm gonna ask, when can I expect my money back? When am I gonna get it back? And when they enter to that verbal agreement saying, okay, I'm going to give you your money back such and such a day. Okay, say if you loaned it to them that Friday, and they'll say, okay, I will have it back to you next Friday or the Friday after or what. You
Hmm.
entered into a verbal agreement at that point. And then when we enter to that verbal agreement, I'm expecting my money back that day. I don't want to have to call you, to
Hmm.
text you. When you tell me you're going to have my money to me about this time, I'm expecting my money back.
Hmm.
Because at that time, I might have obligations that I have to fulfill with my own money that I needed. I put your needs ahead of mine. I sacrificed myself because I feel you was in a worse position than me. So I sacrificed and I gave it to you. So The same respect I have for you to loan you the money is the same respect that I want in return when it comes to paying it back. You got my money with a smile, freely give it back to me with a smile. Because when you give it to me with a frown, that let me know you really didn't want to pay me. So guess what? You can't borrow anything else from me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I'm a very observative person. And so I pay attention to everything. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't like people's to try to be slick. If you owe me and the day you give me your money back, then the next day you
You
asking for
ask,
it
you get.
again. Oh no, that's not gonna happen with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, everybody falls short sometimes. Everybody need a helping hand. No
Mm-hmm.
one is above no one, no matter how much you have or no how less you have.
Mm-hmm.
You see millionaires going bankrupt, filing for bankruptcy and everything. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because we look at them and we say they have, man, they just have so much money. Compared to us, we say, oh, $1,000 to them ain't nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
when you don't have that money like that, $1,000 is a lot to you.
Yeah.
But what we don't realize is that they obligations is much higher than ours.
Mm-hmm.
To keep them going. They have all of these extra expenses and high mortgages and these mansions high, much higher water bill, light bills, gas bills,
Mm-hmm.
the maintenance and everything of it. And so uh everybody money is important to them because people's living from paycheck to paycheck trying to
Yeah.
pay
Yeah.
obligation. So
Yeah.
you can't uh if you weren't born with a gold spoon in your mouth, a silver spoon in your mouth, you doing the same thing the next person is doing, trying to make it.
Trying to make it. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I don't mind loaning out money either if I have it, but I'm gonna make sure that my situation is in order first before I give it to you. I'm gonna make sure that my bills and everything I paid in order before I loan out anything. And I say that because I've have given money out before, to people and then sacrifice what I had to do. And then when I ready for you to give me my money back, you didn't put me in the hole. Now I'm short on what I'm supposed to pay. I have a problem with paying what I need to pay because I sacrificed to help you because you told me when I gave it to you, I told you, okay, I need this back because I got to pay this or I got to pay that. And they're like, okay. And then when it's that time, then I got to search for you to give me my money back, or you got an excuse. And then now you didn't put me in the hole. So I be very careful about that. Like I said, I don't mind giving, especially if I have it, because you don't never know a person's situation. I have had people that helped me. So that's why I don't mind helping people because you never know what situation you will get in. But don't take advantage of the person because they gave you the money. And then, like you said, and then you look around, you give them to them the first time, then you look around, it like becomes a habit, like you a bank or something. Like, I have no
Right.
money to keep giving you. I mean, you go to work every day, you do just like I do. What is you doing with your money that you can't pay me back? That's why I have an issue. Every time I look around, you asked and then you asked and then you asked, and then the money that you owe starts to build up. Then you realize they owe you a lot of money. They ain't paying it back yet. So you keep giving it to them. You ain't gonna never get your money back. And it's gonna steady go up and up. And they're gonna find every excuse not to pay you. So like I said, I don't mind, but then I watch to see how you gonna do when it's time to pay me back.
But that's one thing I'm not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely have to be a very, very
Serious,
close
yeah.
a serious situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to loan money to someone that already owed me money.
Right.
I'm not going to loan you something and you hadn't paid me the first money yet. That's
Right.
just a no no. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
weren't responsible enough to pay me before, that's one reason why you supposed to fulfill your part of the obligation,
Mm-hmm.
because you never know when you might need that person again.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You
And
shouldn't. Yeah. That's what
yeah,
I like. It.
so you
Mm-hmm.
right. So you owe, pay it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the person wouldn't
So
have a problem.
mine. Right. Right.
Okay,
Right.
well they trustworthy, I
Mm-hmm.
loaned them the money. They
Mm-hmm.
uh gave it back to me when they were supposed to, or they called me and they said that okay, they need another day,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
communicating with me.
Communicate.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
important when loaning money. You don't want to loan
Yeah.
money to somebody that you have to,
Yeah.
okay, then you say you're gonna give me my money back today or I have to call you for it.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
If you deal with someone, I couldn't deal with nobody like that.
Right. I'm like that too. If you communicate, because sometimes it might be a situation where they can't pay it back at that moment, but at
Right,
least, tell me I couldn't pay you this pay period, but I'll be able to pay you on the next one. Something came up and I can you wait to the next pay period and I give it to you. I can work with you like that because you communicate with me because I know things happen, something that happened where you can't pay, things just happen out of nowhere and then you need that money so I can understand. But don't just ignore it or don't tell me what's going on and I'm looking for you to pay and you ignore me. Say something. So then I
right,
know what's going on because now I'm feeling like you dodging and you're not trying to pay me back, and then you shouldn't don't you shouldn't mess up when someone's trying to help you because if you doing what you're supposed to do and pay them back on time, then you have a situation again. You might have to ask them again. But if you ain't being honest with them and paying their money back, they're not gonna want to help you again. I don't, especially if if you do that with me, and then I have to keep asking you for it, and then you taking your time forever paying me back, you're not getting no more. That's it. You just messed up because nobody should have to chase nobody to get their money back. They gave it to you, give it back just like they gave it to you.
correct. And another thing, like I say, communication is everything.
Yeah.
If I, if someone borrowing money from you and they tell
Hmm.
you they're gonna give it back at this particular time, you expecting it back at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we, like I say, we all have obligations. If
Hmm.
you fall short and you feel like, okay, I need it for this, so I'm not gonna be able to pay. That's not the person's responsibility that you borrowed the money from. You have to communicate that issue with them because you
So
don't
they
know
know.
if
Yeah.
they need their money to
Yeah.
fulfill their obligation.
Right.
So we both have our obligations. So
Hmm.
I'm not going to tell you, well, no, you do what you have to do, but mine's over here need to be done as well. I
Hmm.
already sacrificed to give you the money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I'm depending on you to give it back so I can fulfill my obligations. I'm not going
Hmm.
to neglect my obligations to fulfill yours. That's
Right.
not the way that it goes.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, so you just have to be careful who you loan money to because everybody is not responsible enough to uh,
To pay it
pay
back.
it back.
Yeah. 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 You have to watch it. I don't. I don't loan out too much. Mostly when I loan out, it usually be my kids or something, because I know they give it back, because they
Right.
don't want to hear my mouth. That's why. And I tell them up
Yes.
front, okay, I'm gonna loan you this money, but you better make sure you give it back. So I don't have any problem with them because I know that they're gonna do what they're supposed to do. I give it and they give
Right,
it right back. They tell me when they're gonna give it back and they give it right back, right?
right,
'Cause, but other than that, I don't too much loan out to people, especially if you're not within like family or anything, but some people you just try to help. It could be somebody and they really need the help. And I don't mind. But like I said, if I do give it to you and I'm trying to help you, you got to show me that you're going to give it back because you're going to have to come to me again. And if you mess up, that means once you pay me back, you can't come to me no more because I can't trust you. I can't
right,
trust you. Like I said, I don't loan, and I don't try to ask. I don't like asking either.
right,
I try to do what I can for myself. It have to be a really, really situation where I need to borrow. And if I do have to borrow, I get it from my siblings. My siblings, my kids, it's no problem. But
right,
I don't try to go to nobody else for nothing. And I don't bother
right,
them. They have to be a serious reason, or I just
right.
really don't have it, and I really need it. But other than that, I
When
don't. I
you
don't.
have went
Yeah,
through everything that uh
yeah. I
humanly
went through every
possible to
sources I
do
can do before
to
I ask.
try to uh
Yeah.
make the ends meet and it's still short. But because I know, like I say, I always been a private person, and I know,
Yeah.
like I know that having too much pride is a sin. But
Mm-hmm.
I just have to pray to God and ask Him to forgive me because He made us all individual. So
Right.
He knows us better than we know ourselves, and He knows our heart. And
Mm-hmm.
so I mean no harm by having that pride. But from
Mm-hmm.
a young lady, once I became to the point where I was grown, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even act like asking my mom for help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like she have done went
Enough.
way beyond the call of duties of
Mm-hmm.
doing her job, what she was supposed to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm grown. I'm not her responsibilities anymore. I have
Mm-hmm.
kids of my own. So now, just like she had to make ends meet to make everything work for the family,
You
I
have to,
have to
yeah.
put myself in those same
Mm-hmm.
shoes to make everything, find ways to make things work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be so funny. My mom knew how I was, and that with pride and everything, and she would tell me it's nothing wrong with asking for help, if
Mm-hmm.
you need it, because she knew
Right.
I
Right.
wasn't the type that would ask.
Right.
She
Right.
might ask me, uh do you need a few dollars? You need something. I said,
Mm-hmm.
no, mom,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I might have $5 to my name, but I ain't gonna let
Mm-hmm.
her
But
know
you ain't gonna let them
that
know. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna let her know. And
Mm-hmm.
what my mom used to do when she would come to my house to visit me, Darlene, because I
Mm-hmm.
would never ask for
Ask
anything,
for
because I feel
anything.
like you have done more than enough for
Mm-hmm.
your children, more than
Mm-hmm.
enough. And so, uh, if she came to my house to visit me, and she might say, "You sure you don't need anything?" I said, "No, mom, I'm okay. I'm fine."
Mm-hmm.
And so when she leaves,
She leave
she
that
will
money
call
somewhere.
me. Girl, she will call me,
Uh-huh.
and she'll say, "Go look such and such a
Mm-hmm.
place.
Mm-hmm.
I left some money there for you." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Mama, why did you do that?" She said, "Because I knew you weren't gonna accept it.
No one gonna take it. Yeah.
You weren't
Yeah.
gonna take it." Because I felt like I thank God for have blessed me with such a remarkable woman. If
Mm-hmm.
I could be half of the woman that she was, you know, I'm satisfied because
Mm-hmm.
she went over and beyond
Yeah.
for her kids.
Yeah.
And, and so I feel like if I don't have anything to give you, I'm definitely not going to take anything from you.
Mhm.
and that's one thing she always expressed. She said, "Well, Barbara, I understand how you feel," and she would try to put me on the right foot and said, "But everybody need help at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have needed help. So
Mhm.
you can't have too much pride when you. It's nothing wrong with being independent."
Mhm.
Like you are, but it's nothing wrong for asking for help when you need
When
help.
you need it, yeah.
I know if you come to me and tell me that you need help, I know you really need it because I know you. You're not going to
Mhm.
ask
You're
me
not gonna
if
ask,
you
right?
don't need it because I know
Mhm.
how you are with your pride. But
Mhm.
it's just, if I borrow money from somebody, if I tell them I'm going to pay them back on
You
this
gonna pay
particular
them back,
day,
yeah.
I'm going to pay them back.
Yeah, I would like that too. Like that too. If I get it from you, you gonna get it back. I'm gonna tell you and I'm gonna give it back and I stand on that and make sure that they get it back. You won't have to come to me and say, I need my money. I know I owe you, I'm gonna make sure you get it back.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
the way it
And
should
that's the
be.
way it should be. Yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I said, people do have situations that occur and they can't pay at that time, but that's where the communication come in at.
Yes,
Because that
that's
person looking for
communication.
their money. They looking for their
Or
money. Yeah.
or they come to you and say, I know I told you I was gonna pay
But
you
this happened
today,
and I can't.
but
Yeah.
this happened
Yeah.
and I'm not able to do it. We
Yeah.
might have to negotiate that
Yeah. Yeah.
because for one, I was expecting it back. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's something I need to do too. So, in
Mm-hmm.
other words, I'm not going to put myself out there and not do what I have to do. So, if I feel is important enough, uh, it might come to the point where I say, well, okay, you pay me half because
Yeah.
I need to pay on my bill just as well.
Yeah.
So I can't ignore my obligations. I already ignored my obligations when I loaned it to you,
Yeah.
and so we have to. I'm willing to compromise with you. Well, look, I need to pay such and such. You're gonna have to give me some portion of the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So because a lot of times people will take advantage and
Yeah.
just don't want to pay you
Yeah.
and
And like
come up
them.
with reasons not
Right.
to pay you
Yeah.
your money back.
But I kind of say, when people taking advantage is when they pay you, but then like a day or two later they asking for it back. You know what I'm saying? So they really not paying you because you're giving it right back.
Well, that's why I say
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
well, that's that I'm not going to do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. If I loaned you and you pay me back today, and
Mm-hmm.
then you coming back at me
And you coming
tomorrow,
back again?
no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Yeah. Because
I'm
they
not
know
gonna
that
do that.
I don't like when people know that you're kind hearted and you don't mind helping, and then they take advantage. That's the part I don't like. And then when you realize what they doing, and then you be like, now they can't get no more, and then you tell them, then they have the nerve to have an attitude with you. Like, really? Like
Right.
you supposed to. No, no, I don't. I did it out the kindness of my heart. I don't have to give you anything.
Correct. Yeah. So that's why I said you have to, be,
Mm-hmm.
responsible yourself and know
Yeah.
uh and get the feeling that someone you can't just loan money to anybody.
Right.
Because a lot of people's they not taking care of their business and they want to mess up their money
And
and
then mess
then
up yours too.
mess up yours
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you just can't
You
loan
can't
money
do it.
to everybody.
So who you think who you think the worst learning to, family or friends? You think family is the worst one to loan money to?
Well, I wouldn't say because I really hadn't had any bad experience with family or friends,
Uh-huh. Okay.
yeah, I have not had any bad experience.
Right. Me either. But I have heard stories from other people. You know how people say family think that because they family, they don't have to be responsible and give you the money back because they feel you family. You know, yes, you do, family or not. If I loaned it to you, you're supposed to give it back.
Right.
Some family members think just because you family or you siblings or whatever, they don't have to. It's like you supposed to give them that. No, you don't.
And that's why a lot of people don't loan money.
Uh-huh.
You know, so many people you hear, they said they don't loan money. Now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the only other way that I see with that is if it's a verbal agreement where it's okay, uh, I loaned you my money, but you can't pay me. And you say, well, is it anything that you need done that I could do for you
Right. Yeah.
instead of repaying you this money?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be something that need done.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know,
Yeah.
so if that's an agreement, then I will honor that. Okay, no problem.
Right.
You don't
Right.
have to pay me, but you do this for me, or you help me do this,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nobody have money to just give
To just give
anybody,
away. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you not get it back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
people have the tendency, whereas once they get it, they ain't thinking about paying you back.
I know.
Like you say,
Don't
uh,
even don't even hear from them no more. You gotta chase them
uh, until they need something
until they
again.
need it again. It's
And you're
and then
like, what kind of fool do you think
right,
I
and
am?
then that's
You
what
didn't
gets
pay
me
me the
to
first time.
right. That's
So
what gets me.
yeah, why would I trust you
Yeah.
the second time around if you
Yeah.
didn't pay me the first
And
time?
they be bold about it too. Like they know they owe you, but still have nerve come back and ask for some more.
Yes,
Like you supposed to give it to them.
because now they looking at you as boo boo the fool.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't pay him or I didn't pay her before and they still loan me money.
Right. Right. So
So
let me
I'ma
ask
keep
again.
getting it while the getting is good. So you letting them bump your head because you
Mm-hmm.
acting like you don't have the sense you was born with to know, no, you didn't pay me. I'm not loaning you nothing else.
Right. Right. Okay, Barbara, that was a good topic for us today. That was a good topic for us today. We're gonna have to get back on this one again.
Yes, that was a nice topic because I know many people could relate to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like you said, you don't mind. There's nothing wrong with asking if you need it. But when you ask, just make sure you give it back. Nobody should have to come back and ask you for something that they loan out to you and you know you owe them. Just do the right thing and pay it back.
yes, if I came to you and say, Darlene, I have tried everything. I don't like borrowing money, but
Mm-hmm.
if you have it, if I could borrow $50 and
Mm-hmm.
I will have it back to you on this day,
Right.
I'm going to have the money back to you
Back
that
to
day.
you on that day. Right. Right.
Yes, and I'm gonna happily give it back like I was happy to
Yeah.
receive it.
Right. But I think
People,
that's what gets to me when they pay it back and they pay it back with attitude. Like they didn't want to give it back, you know, but you
yes,
have to hound them down and getting on them so they know they owe you. So they give it to you. But you shouldn't even have to go through all that.
right.
You have an
Cause
attitude
that'd be
because you owe
funny.
me money.
That'd be funny.
It
Like
do
they
be funny. Like you
handing
got
you
an
the
attitude
money,
because you owe me
but
some money.
yeah, but they trying to hand it to you, but all the time they pulling it back like you supposed to say,
Yeah.
okay, you can keep it. Girl, give me that money.
Give me my money. And guess what? And now you ain't getting
You
no more because
borrowed
you came
this.
back with attitude.
Yes.
And give them something to
Yes.
think about. Well, I messed that up. Yeah, you did. Now you don't get nothing else.
Yes. Yeah. And they will continue to mess up if
Yeah.
you keep repeatedly
If you
giving
keep
it to
doing
them.
it. Yeah, yeah,
To
they will.
repeatedly
That's
give
why
it
you
to them.
can't, it's good to be nice to people, but you can't let people take advantage of you either.
Absolutely.
I have no problem helping anybody when if I can help you. But
Right.
I expect on you to do the right thing too and give it back. And then if you don't have it at that moment, just communicate and let me know that. But just don't ignore the situation that you owe me some money. Because I
Right.
have things to do, bills
To
to pay,
do
just
just
like
as
you.
well.
Yeah.
And my situation, I know I have, and there's no problem with me. I
Mhm.
would do without before I ask.
Yeah, me too. I'm like
So,
that too. I
no,
can't.
I would do without.
I
I
will
said,
wait till I
okay,
have it.
I
Yeah,
just have to wait until
until
I
I
get
have it.
it
Yeah.
and this or that, or I got
Mhm.
to try to make this arrangement, try to make this arrangement, or do
Mhm.
what I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not one to borrow money.
Right. And I don't like. I don't like have to owe nobody anything.
Right,
I want to make my sure my conscience is clear and I paid you back.
right.
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't
like.
want to have
Right.
to be dodging nobody. Oh, here
Right.
comes such
I
and such.
look. I
I
dodged
ain't
the
got their money. I
We
ain't got
dodged.
their money.
We dodged the bill collectors enough, so we don't have to dodge them.
Okay.
We got
Yes.
to pay them. So these
Yes.
people are old. We
Got
got
to
to
pay
give
them.
back their money.
Yeah. Because that's one
Yeah.
thing about the bill collectors. They don't care
They gonna
what
come.
else you
They
have to
gonna
do.
come for theirs.
They
Yeah.
coming for
They
theirs.
coming. They gonna be clicking stuff off. So you can't play
Yeah.
with them.
They
Sure.
ain't trying to hear no sad Simon story. Yeah.
That's what
Look,
I think. I
when
told
you
somebody
finish
that. I
talking,
wait. I think
just
I
give
told
me my
somebody
pay
that.
this bill.
Yeah, I think I told somebody that. I'm like, well, I can't call the bill collector and tell them I'm gonna be late because you ain't paid me my money back. Like they don't want to
Yes.
hear that. Right.
Yes.
You got to give me my money
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
All right, girl, we got to get on out of here.
Okay. Well, we hope you all enjoyed this topic because we surely did. It's a funny topic, but it's a real topic with
Yes, it is.
loaning money or borrowing money.
Right. And like we
So,
said, if you borrowing, just make sure you do the right thing and give it back.
and give it
People
back
need
with
their
a
money. Give
smile.
it back with a smile, not with an attitude.
Yes. Okay.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Okay. Stay blessed.